Hey guys, we got another fun video this morning. We're gonna do an unboxing for you. I got a new keyboard and I got it right here. So the fine folks over at Kmise, I recently did a build on one of their lyres, and I posted that video and they noticed and got a hold of me and said, hey, you're a synth guy. Do you want to review our new keyboard? And so what's funny is if you look at the other keyboards that I have, like this Arturia here, you know, they're very analog, kind of boutique-y, I guess. I know this is a fairly inexpensive for what it does, but you know, fairly boutique class analog synthesizer types. Here's my Micro Brute here as well. But you know, that's kind of what I favor. And so I didn't know, I just said, yeah, I'll review your new keyboard, thinking I was gonna get something like that. And here's what showed up. So you can see just by the picture on the box, it's more of like an arranger type keyboard, which is typically not what I'm into. But you know, they sent it to me to review, so we're gonna do it. So let's start by opening the box here. All right. Okay, let's get the box out of the way. Perfect. So we see in here, basically this is very well packed, extremely well packed. Looks like it's packed in styrofoam. We've got a sheet music holder here. I'll put that to the side. Looks like we got looks like it comes with a microphone. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it comes with a microphone. That looks like it's the AC adapter and then a manual. So let's get this baby out. Okay, so we got it out of the box and the plastic now, and it is very light. I can tell you that much. It's very, very light. What is this? It's got a little door here. I'm not sure what that is. I'll have to take a look at the instructions. But we can see it's got some rhythm selects here, some timbre selects here. It's like a power button, some various pads. We'll take a little closer look. We get a little further along. The keys feel smaller. They're not feel smaller. The keys are definitely smaller than a standard size keyboard. Here, let me grab this one. So you can see the keys are definitely smaller, but they aren't as small as a mini set of mini keys, like say this one. So they're larger than mini keys. They're somewhere between a mini key and a standard size key. May or may not be important to you. 61 keys is a 5-octave keyboard. But that said, it looks like the build quality is pretty good. It has this door on the back and I don't know what that is. I'm gonna have to read about that. I don't know if you can see that. Let me see if I can. There we go. I don't know what that is, but it's screwed shut. So I'm gonna have to read about that. I don't know if that's like a access panel for repairs or something. I'm gonna definitely have to read the owner's manual here and figure out what this thing's all about. Okay, so I got a couple of the accessories unboxed here. Here is the AC adapter, and I'm showing it to you because look how small it is. It's very small. It's kind of like it's almost like a phone charger size, a little bit larger than a phone charger, but it's quite small, whereas most of these keyboards I'm used to having a big old heavy brick. So that could be good or bad depending. And then it has this microphone that it came with as well. The microphone has an 1/8" output, which is a little strange. This microphone is very, very light, like light to the point where I don't know how much I'm gonna trust this. But that said, some of these like toy microphones have a really unique sound, so I'll definitely give it a shot. But one other thing I forgot to mention, on the back here, let me scoot up with you so you can see that. You've got a power switch. Let me get this over here so I can see it. Okay, you got a power, an AC in right here. I'm trying to get that where it can be seen. Then you have, next to that, you have your headphones jack. You have a mic in jack or an audio in jack. Oh, excuse me, you have a mic in jack and then an audio in jack. And according to the manual, this is for the microphone that's included. Whereas this is a stereo signal, so you can plug in like an iPad or your phone or an MP3 player or something like that to actually send music through it and amplify it through the speakers so it can function as that. But also then you can play along with the music is the theory. And you can sing along with the mic, is the theory. There is no 1/4 inch output on this, so if you're looking for that, you might be disappointed. The only output it has is this headphones output. Now you could certainly get the right adapters to use that with the rest of your setup, but that is a little awkward. And then it has, of course, the AC input. So that's what we got on the back. There's no MIDI in. If you're looking for that, there is no MIDI in or out, no like trigger or gates or anything like that. So pretty simple set of connectivity. So let's get her plugged in, fired up, and figure out what she sounds like. Oh, by the way, I read the manual. This is a battery door down here. Oops, get that in the frame. This is a battery door, so you can actually power this thing on batteries. It's kind of weird that the battery door is screwed shut, but maybe that's just because of the weight of the batteries, I don't know. But you can actually power this thing on batteries, which that actually changes the way I feel about it. That's kind of cool, because you can take this thing in the middle of the woods and play it, you know? So it does have the option for battery play, which is pretty neat. Okay, so I got her plugged in, powered up here, and you can see the LCD lights up down here. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see the numbers and such, but it's got a number pad right here. If you put in a patch number, so that's number 55. If we change it to like 77, you get a different patch, 22. I'm just using, so you can see that's just, I mean, nothing special there. That's how you change between the different patches. One thing I wanted to note here, it comes with this music stand, which or whatever you call it, sheet music stand, which I had mentioned, and it goes right into this groove here. So it sits there like that. But I was kind of looking at it and I'm like, first of all, I hate this aesthetic. It looks really busy. But I was like, you know, what if I was actually to put music on this? I don't even read sheet music, but if I was. So I just have a magazine laying here. It happens to be Electronic Musician, that's funny. And I just open that and put it here. You can see it's kind of, you know, flopping over. There's a subscription card in there, but it's kind of flopping over. And if I had to flip the pages here, the pages are kind of doing this thing, you know? So this is not a very good music stand, quite honestly. It wouldn't really do the job that it's supposed to do if that's what you were trying to do with it. And it's not very sturdy, so that's gonna just go out of the way where it you know, that's worthless. Get rid of that. So let's just go to, let's see here, which one's the piano? 32. Let's go to the piano here. So I'm not sure how well that's gonna come through on the camera with just these speakers, but the piano is a little bit tinny sounding. I mean, we'll do a I mean, the piano sounds a little bit kind of thin and tinny, but I am also hearing it through these speakers. I'll try some high quality audio later in the review and actually plug it into an audio interface and see what it sounds like. But first, let's do a couple of just kind of features, overview, sounds, and whatnot. Okay, guys, I moved the camera angle here, and I've got it on a keyboard stand now to make it a little easier to focus on. So all this audio is going to be coming straight through the speakers. But one of the first things I figured out about it is it has right here, there's these little drum buttons. And so you can use it as a drum machine, completely aside from all the keyboard. But it's kind of hard to play if you start doing this. I mean, I can kind of do a beat, but it's kind of hard because it's just so small, right? So one cool feature that it has, if you push this orange button right here that says keyboard percussion, it moves the percussion to the keyboard, which makes it a heck of a lot easier if you wanted to do, you know, something like this. Let's see here. So you can do kind of a, you know, quick and dirty little drum machine kind of a thing with it, which actually that's pretty neat. It has the little key buttons here that you use to select either the rhythms or the timbres, just a little like 10 key. And then you can also use, where did I see that? There's a plus and minus arrow here to go up and down through the cycles. It does have a built-in vibrato, which actually sounds, I'll demonstrate that in a second. Now I'm on keyboard percussion, so to go back to standard, I just click this button, or maybe not. Okay, oh, I just click this one off, that's what it is. There we go. Click that one off, and then now I'm back to So what patch is this? This is 12, which is 12 is synth brass. So so I kind of like this patch. This is patch number 33. It's a music box. And if you add the vibrato function, if you turn that on, here's without it. If you turn that on, kind of sounds cool. That's kind of a pretty one, but and I've noticed that as you get towards the high end of the scale, a lot of the patches sound the same. So like for instance, it's like it doesn't really have as much difference between the timbres when you get up high. They really start to sound very similar. So there's a little bit of difference, but it doesn't seem to, at least that could be these speakers too, but it doesn't seem to really differentiate a lot. But that said, I mean, you are getting, you know, a whole lot of sounds here, you know, that for relatively low price. I mean, this is $70, and you know, you get a lot of different things out of it. It has some other things where you can actually record yourself. You can play along with the music. I'll show you that. If you click the songs here, I'm actually going to turn it down a little bit. If you click the songs here, then you can change songs. Oops. So you can get kind of some different tunes there if that's what you're after. How do I stop that? Okay, I actually find, honestly, that's kind of annoying to me. But one thing that it does, and I know it's probably going to be hard to see from up there, but it actually shows you the note that it's playing here on this little screen. So if you wanted to learn that tune, so for instance, I'm sure you can't see that on the camera, but it's actually showing me which key to play. So if that was a tune you wanted to learn, you could actually see what it's playing and help you learn it. So that might be useful to some people. This really, quite honestly, is targeted at a beginner. And for the price, I mean, you really can't go wrong. I did try plugging in this here microphone. Let me show you that. Check, 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 check. So we do have a microphone. I'll turn the volume back up a little. Check, check, check. So, you know, if you're looking to, let's go back to reviewing the keyboard for Kmise. Reviewing the keyboard, it's really nice. Reviewing the keyboard, reviewing the keyboard, reviewing the keyboard, you know. So, I mean, you could, you know, just kind of do that. Of course, if you had a mic stand, you could do that a lot better. But, you know, it's kind of got some options like that. You can certainly play along with the music if you want and do that. But, you know, let's show a couple more of the patches here. So there's some stuff you can do there, some neat patches. Again, this is, you know, really targeted at a beginner, especially with the price. But for the price, for $70 and having this many things in it, you know, it's really hard to go wrong for that price. If you're an experienced player, it's probably going to seem kind of simple to you. The keys are smaller than normal, and a lot of the features are really targeted at beginners. You don't have a 1/4 inch out and some things like that. I mean, quite honestly, the drum part of it is actually pretty neat on its own and probably worth it on its own. So, I mean, if Kmise, if they see this, I would say if you took the brain out of this and you just took the drum section here and put that, I mean, you could take this whole brain, but put that drum section into a little box like that, put a couple touch pads on it to trigger the drums instead of having it through the whole keyboard or these little buttons, and make a little like drum box like this, put a MIDI in so you could sync it, and it would be like this big, and I would pay $69 for that before I would pay $69 for this, quite honestly. It needs to have a 1/4 inch out, of course. But if you made something like that, I think that would sell better than something like this, at least to music makers, because you know, it kind of seems weird. Why would you pay more money for something that has less features? But it's small. It's something like this you can squeeze into your studio. Something like this you need room for. So let's see what it sounds like plugged into an actual audio interface, and see if we can get some high quality audio off of this. Okay, so the overall verdict on this one, guys, it'd be a great keyboard for a beginner. And for the price, it's really hard to turn down. I mean, for $70, you're gonna be hard pressed to find, you know, more functionality than you can get in something like this. So again, for a beginner, I think this would be a great keyboard for a kid starting out, or for someone just trying to see if they like it. If someone who's already got a setup, it's not gonna be very valuable because it's missing, it doesn't have a 1/4 inch out and it doesn't have MIDI in, so you can't sync it with your other gear, and you're gonna have to have adapters to use it with your current mixing equipment and all of that. So, you know, for that is probably not what you're looking for. As I mentioned earlier, you know, some feedback for Kmise, if they took the brain out of this thing and put it into a little groove box, you know, just a little bit thing with some drum pads and stuff, put a 1/4 inch out on it and a MIDI in, I would be way more likely to pay $70 for that. I'd pay $100 for that before I'd pay $70 for this. Because the brain that's in it, the little drum machine stuff, actually seems to be pretty decent. But you know, now I have to find a place for this and all that. So anyway, so that said, it definitely fills a niche for a beginner or someone looking for an all-in-one kind of a thing. So anyway, this is just an initial review, unboxing an initial review. I may do a secondary after I've had a little, you know, spent a little time with it. But there you go. There's a quick initial impressions on the Kmise MK-2106